Alright, so after Arthur gets the sword and becomes king, then the book skips a whole entire long period of time. And so King Arthur, he's older now and much stronger, so he decides to go off into the woods. And on the woods, Mr. Sir Miles comes up to King Arthur, and he's hurt. Aww. And he tells a story about the Sable Knight. And here it goes. So he was walking along, and he saw a shield. And above the shield it says, "Ye who smiteth this shield, do so at your own peril." Pretty straightforward to me. I wouldn't do it. But not him. He goes along and he smashes and breaks the shield. What an idiot. And then what happens? The Sable Knight comes riding out. And it didn't say this in the book, but I could just see it in my head. I could just hear the song. They see me riding, they hatin', patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty, trying to catch me riding dirty. Yes, so then the Sable Knight comes and gets him, and hurts him really bad, ha ha ha. Okay, and that's where Arthur sees him, because he went back, and Arthur's like, "Oh no, what happened?" And so he was in a group, and the young knight, Gurryflet, whatever his name is, he volunteers to avenge Sir Miles, even though there's not really much to avenge. He broke his shield and he got hurt. Okay, well, Sir Gurryflet, he goes and does the same thing, and guess what happens? He gets hurt too. What idiots. Okay, and so he comes back, and King Arthur is now mad because now the Sable Knight hurt his knight. So he decides to go and do the same thing. So on Arthur's way to visit the Sable Knight, he sees an old man getting chased by a bunch of kids. And so he goes and saves the old man. And lo and behold, the old man is Merlin. Ha 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 ha. So Merlin says, "I'm gonna go with you." And Arthur's like, "KK." So they go, and then Arthur fights the Sable Knight, and he almost dies. But Merlin uses a spell. I guess it's kind of more like a sword, but I don't know how to cast spells. There. That one was good. And saves Arthur. So then Merlin takes Arthur to a monk, and Arthur is so close to death he's about to die. Okay, and then Lady Guinevere sees him, and she says, "Oh, I gots to help him." So she goes and gets one of her people to save Arthur, and Arthur lives, and Arthur also falls in love with her. Oh, how sweet. So after this, he wants to go back and fight the Sable Knight again. Apparently he hasn't learned his lesson. But when he was fighting the Sable Knight, his sword broke, so I have no sword. So Merlin tells him about Excalibur. So he follows where Merlin told him to go, and he sees the Lady of the Lake, and the Lady of the Lake gives him a bow, and there's a hand holding out Excalibur, and in the middle of the lake. So King Arthur sails on the boat, and he grabs the sword and shield? I don't know how to explain it. The thing that goes in the sword. So he has Excalibur, and the cool thing about Excalibur is that if he has this shield, he cannot get hurt. But he doesn't know that yet. So Arthur, he's happy because he has a sword, and he goes back and he tries to fight the Sable Knight, which the Sable Knight's name was King Pellinor. So he goes and he fights a Sable Knight and he wins. And then Merlin tells him, hey, do you want to know something cool about that sword? You know, if you have the shield right there, you can't get hurt, bro. And Arthur's like, what? I can't? Dude, you took out all my pride. I thought I took him out by myself. And he gets really angry and he thinks about throwing the sword and everything away, but Merlin convinces Arthur not to.